In a world where the omniverse is at stake and the Zero Point is imprisoned by an organization with total control, it is only natural that a group of resistance will exist. People with different ideals and better solutions. This group goes by the name The Seven, and these 7 individuals has agreed on a conclusion to liberate the Zero Point from a supposedly evil organization and destroy the loop for good. Yo, what is up everybody, it's your boy Skara, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 7. Now, as I speak, the Battle Royale Story is still currently happening, but recently we just got the final 3 members of the group leaked in a survey. With this information, I thought it would be great to make a video on it. Since the BR story isn't final, the content I will be providing you with today will not be 100% factual, and because of that, take everything I'm saying in this video with a little grain of salt. With that being said, enjoy the video. In the beginning, there was nothing. Then in a burst of pure creation, the Zero Point sprang into being. Countless realities with their own multiverses that would rarely, if ever, intersect was created. In our reality, we call this the Big Bang. In the world of Fortnite, this is the beginning of the Zero Point. The Zero Point contains a lot of energy. Not only that, but it can be used to travel between different realities. To have control over such object gives the person a lot of power. But as we all know, with a lot of power comes great responsibility. At some point in time, the organization known as the Imagined Order would get their hands on the Zero Point. This effectively dragged the attention of bigger threats like the Last Reality and even worse. Because of this, someone had to do something, and this is when the group known as the 7 was created. Their intentions is to stop the Imagined Order, liberate the Zero Point, and destroy the loop. But who are these 7 individuals? And what do we know about them? If you've been a long-time fan of Fortnite, you already know that the Visitor is the first person to appear in the Fortnite story. The Visitor's identity still remains a mystery, but we will get back to that later in the video. The Visitor arrived inside a comet during Season 4 and escaped the island later on during the same season with a rocket. Because of this, the Visitor created multiple sideways rifts. These sideways rifts would teleport things from other realities to the Fortnite island, leading to Season 5. A quick explanation before we continue. The Zero Point is capable of creating 2 types of portals. The first is called a pure portal. These portals don't harm the Zero Point. They can open and close at any time. The second type of portals are sideways rifts. These rifts is also known as rifts. A sideways rift is a portal that needs to heal and takes time before closing. If too many sideways rifts exist at the same time, it can lead to a destruction of the Zero Point and ending all realities. Anyways, let's continue. Later on, during Season X, we got 2 more members that would be a part of the 7. These 2 members was the Scientist and Paradigm. The identity of the Scientist still remains a mystery. But one thing is certain, he's not all human. If you look at his legs, you can see that he have been through either an accident or he amputated his legs for robotic upgrades. Let's all hope he's using the prosthetic legs due to the first reason and not the second. The Scientist has been talking multiple times, and we know that he was the person who made the recordings to remind himself in Season X. We also know that he talks during the end event in Chapter 2 and in Season 1 Chapter 3. Let's move on to Paradigm. When Paradigm was first released during Season X, many in the community started speculating that this was Singularity, and I don't disagree with them. Her suit is almost a complete replica of the Singularity armor. So for now, let's all assume that Singularity is Paradigm. If we go back to the end of Season 8, you will remember that during the volcano event, a lot of interesting landing spots was destroyed. These POIs would stay this way until the end of the season. When Season 9 arrived, everything had changed. Someone was using the Zero Point as a power source to create neo-tilted and much more different things. We would later find out that the person behind this was Singularity. Not only this, but when we traveled to the Nexus during the vaulting event, her helmet was on the table, which indicate that she was the one responsible for the unvaulting event as well. At the end of Season 9, she also saved the island once again. When the Devourer woke up from his deep slumber by creating a huge Power Rangers robot, she killed it with her own statue that turned out to be a big sword. Her relation to the Seven is complicated, and it seems like she and the Foundation can't really get along. Moving on. So the next person in the group is the Foundation, aka Dwayne Johnson. His character name and backstory is still not explained, but we know that him and Sloane goes way back. Sloane said she thought she saw him die during the encounter when the Foundation was saving Jones. This leads me to think that the armor piece on the right side on his chest isn't just there for cool looking. Maybe he have a heart condition, taking some inspiration from Iron Man to still keep his body going. As his description says, he is the leader of the Seven, and his mission is everything. His age is kind of a mystery, since he has apparently studied the Zero Point longer than Batman has been alive, and his greatest fear is knowing that the Zero Point is in the hands of Geno, the leader of the Imagined Order. So let's go back to the Visitor. If you remember, he was the first amongst the Seven that we had an encounter with. The special thing about the Visitor is that Epic is hiding his voice. Until now, he still haven't said a single word, even though he has had multiple chances. This leads me to think that Epic is trying to hide his voice, because if he says something, we might find out who he is. Maybe it's the Looper, or maybe it's Jones. After all, Jones have always been traveling a lot of places if we study his story. These are currently the only 4 members of the Seven in game, but we do have the other 3 remaining people. They were leaked by a Fortnite survey. The survey shows a picture of the sisters and the guy known as Origin. The special thing about Origin is that he have an additional style. His skin is the same as the Storm King, and his appearance is nothing like we've ever seen before. Before I end this video, there is a few things I want you to think about. Barrymore J. Vinderman, the founder of WinterTech, is a guy introduced to us in Save the World. Scientist Dr. Vinderman tried to prevent the rifts from opening, but they came anyway, and he died later in the lab experiment. In this experiment, he attempted to destroy the rift using a Singularity pulse bomb. He magically vanished after the explosion, leaving no trace of him. The only thing that was remaining after the explosion was a purple smoke, kind of like the smoke that the Storm King can produce. In this incident, did Dr. Vinderman lose his legs? After all, he is a scientist. Or maybe the explosion had an effect on him, making him look like the Storm King. I won't stop believing that Save the World and Battle Royale is 2 unrelated stories. The similarities are just way too spot on to ignore. I'm 100% certain that Save the World is a prequel to Battle Royale story. The thing is that Save the World takes place on a planet, while Battle Royale takes place inside a black hole. This is why the Zero Point is called the Zero Point, because it's the singularity inside a black hole. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video, take care of yourself, and have yourself a damn good one. Oh, I almost forgot. The Foundation says something really interesting in the beginning of Chapter 3. Listen to this.
I suppose I owe you an explanation. We've all been through a lot the last few years, and there's much more you don't even remember. You've all fought a good fight, but until we set the Zero Point free, we'll be facing threats like the last reality. and worse. There will be no escaping it. That's why I need your help to destroy the imagined order. As long as they're exploiting the 0 point, everything is in danger. With your help, we can free ourselves from this place and leave the loop for good. We can all go home.
Let us all go home.